Hey everyone, I'm Nadine and welcome to Bookish Nook. This January I read 15 books. Some of them were novellas, some of them were graphic novels. So the breakdown is I read 7 books, 6 graphic novels, and 2 novellas. I was actually planning to read a lot more, but sort of all my teachers hit the ground running this semester and it was pretty chaotic at the beginning. So the first book of January that I read is Losing Hope by Colleen Hoover, which is the second book after Hopeless, I guess. I did a full review on this, so I will link that down below. The second book that I read in January is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I absolutely love this book and I gushed about it in my review, which I will also link down below. The third book that I read in January is The Battle of the Labyrinth, which is the fourth book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. This book was fantastic, jam-packed with adventure and a lot of comedic parts thrown in there. I absolutely love this series. The fourth book that I read in January is The Indigo Spell by Rochelle Mead, which is the third book in the Bloodline series. I absolutely adored that book. I absolutely adore that series. I did a full review on that book, so I'll link that down below. The fifth book that I read is The Fiery Heart by Rochelle Mead, which is the fourth in the Bloodline series, and this is the last book that's out up to date. The next one is coming out in June, I think. I absolutely love this book. I did have some issues with it, and I did a full review, so I will link that down below as well. The sixth book that I read is The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan, which is the final book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. This was a fantastic conclusion to a fantastic series. I can't wait to read the next few books, which are the Heroes of Olympus, I think, which takes place in this universe. That's all I know about it. I am so excited. This series was fantastic, and I recommend it to anyone who really loved Harry Potter because this is sort of, I wouldn't say mirror image, but it definitely gives you the same feelings you had while reading Harry Potter. And the last book that I read this month is Misbehaving by Abby Glines. I literally just finished this like an hour ago. It is the sixth book in the Seabreeze series, which is a new adult series. This book follows a girl named Jess and a boy named Jason, and Jason comes from a life of privilege, and Jess does not. Her mom is a stripper, and she's sort of trying to aspire to be something different, do something different with her life and not follow the path her mom carved out. I really enjoyed it. There were a few things I didn't like about it, and that's sort of because I'm taking a psychology of women's class this semester, and it's sort of like those views that I'm learning about are kind of bleeding into my reading of that book. So either way, I really did enjoy it, and I really enjoy that series. So I definitely recommend it if you are looking to get into new adult. The first novella that I read this month was Finding Cinderella by Colleen Hoover. It is a novella attached to Losing Hope, and it covers some of the characters that were in Losing Hope in a little bit more depth. I really enjoyed that novella. It was a fun, actually pretty deep read for being so little pages, and that just shows you how fantastic a writer Colleen Hoover is. The second novella that I read was In Time by Alexandra Bracken. That is a companion novella to The Darkest Minds. And if you read The Darkest Minds, you should definitely give In Time a go because it is fantastic and it really widens your scope of the world that is The Darkest Minds. So it's definitely worth checking out if you read The Darkest Minds. So for graphic novels, I read volumes 6 through 10 of The Walking Dead. I'm really enjoying this series. I love the TV show, so I decided to give the graphic novels a chance, and I'm glad I did. I wish I would have picked them up sooner. They're fantastic, and you definitely get to see a different side of the characters that the TV show does not portray. They are a lot more graphic, and they're a lot more serious than the TV show, so it's definitely geared at a more mature audience. So if you like the TV show and haven't read these, definitely give these a go. So the next graphic novel that I read, and I'm not really sure if it's a graphic novel or a comic book, I'm not really up to date on the term, so I'm just going to use graphic novel, and that is Alex plus Ada by Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vang. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyways, this is the first issue, and it was like literally 30 pages. I blew through it in 5 minutes. So I was a little disappointed about that, but I mean, what do you expect when you buy something so small? I heard about this. I found a site and it was like the top 10 comics released in December 2012, and this was one of them. And the synopsis intrigued me, and it was about this world that is full of technology, and they're literally like their thoughts can like turn on the TV, turn on the toaster, whatever. And we have this guy who is lonely, and it's been like 6 months since him and his girlfriend broke up. So his grandma decides to buy him. I think it's like an android. She is not real, but she's a fully functioning human being, I guess you could say. And this novel ends with him getting her in the mail. As you can see, I'm not giving anything away because that's in the synopsis. The synopsis is literally this first issue. I definitely enjoy this, but I'm going to wait until it comes out in a bigger volume to buy, because buying these over and over for $4 doesn't seem really worth it to me. I'm definitely not an artist, but I really enjoyed the drawings. Are really well done. I like the color. I'm used to The Walking Dead where there isn't any color. So this was fantastic and I really enjoyed it. So for my February TBR list, it's not very big because I have midterms coming up and I have to study, and having a huge list of books I want to read sort of gives me motivation not to study. But there are a few books that I definitely want to read. So the first book that I am picking up next, and I'll probably pick it up today or tomorrow, is Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken, which is the second book in the Darkest Minds series. I am so excited to read this, and I've been sort of putting it off because of how dark it is. I don't know, either way, I'm just super excited to read this. The second book that I definitely want to get read this month is One Tiny Lie by K.A. Tucker, which is the second book to 10 Tiny Breaths. This series, I think, is like a standalone series where you could read any of the books in whatever order, because each book centers around a different character. And this book centers around the sister of the girl in the first book. I can't even remember their names, it's been a while. But she goes off to school and she has this lie that I think that kind of sort of multiplies and she doesn't know what to do. This is in the new adult genre, I'm pretty sure. So I'm definitely excited to continue this series. Now these next two books, I'm not sure if I'm going to get to them or if I'm even going to pick them up. I might just pick up something new. But the third one that I maybe want to get read is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Now I actually picked this up because of how many people have been raving about it on BookTube. Everyone says it's fantastic and they love it, and Rainbow Rowell has shot to their favorite author after reading this in her other book. So I definitely want to give this a go, and I was thinking about reading this after Never Fade. If Never Fade is as dark as everyone says it is, and everyone says it's a light, fantastic read, so I think that those two would pair well together. This last book is another maybe, and that is Across the Universe by Beth Revis. I heard a few good things about this from a few people on BookTube, and everyone was raving about this cover, and it is just beautiful, and I completely agree. And when I went to go to Chapters to pick it up, they had the ugly cover for this, and I just couldn't stand it, so I decided to order this one off Book Depository. If you don't know what that is, it is a book site with free international shipping. The prices are well priced. I think this was only $16 for a nice hardcover, and it came in fantastic condition. There are no rips or anything or folded pages, but I just can't get over this cover, and I think this is one of the main reasons I actually bought this book, is because of this cover. I also want to get a few graphic novels read this month since they're easy, fast reads, so I'm going to continue on with the Walking Dead series, but I also want to read Dexter Down Under, which is a graphic novel that is a continuation of the last season of Dexter. Now, if you haven't seen Dexter, the last season, you should mute it if you want to read, because I'm going to talk about spoilers, so I'll mute it now. If you've seen the last episode, you know that Dexter is now in, I think it is Australia. Now this graphic novel picks up with him in Australia, and I'm assuming that he's going to start killing again, so I'm really excited to see where that goes. So I'm definitely going to do a review of that when I read it. Okay, so those are the books I want to get read this month. If you've read any of them, comment down below and let me know what you thought of it, because it might give me more incentive to read it. And let me know what you guys are going to read this this month because I might just pick up what you're reading as well. My TBR list, I usually never stick to them. Usually maybe a book comes out and I kind of throw everything out the window and start reading that, or I might just pick up something random. So thanks for watching. Bye!